Welcome into the Ohio State Football Report presented by PrizePicks. Billy Beebe with you. Proud and happy to be with you because we've got all good stuff to talk about when it comes to Ohio State football. A lot of great things happening, being talked about by the fan base. Good energy here on the show and from you guys. We'll start off with more jersey news. That's right. More on Ohio State unveiling what they'll be wearing in 2026. The Heritage Stripes, as the fans are calling them, they're calling it the Buckeye Stripe. I've heard both terms being thrown around a little bit. That will be a part of their 2026 regular jerseys here. So, yeah, really good look for Ohio State. It's got a 90s look to it. They've worn it, into the 2000s. Then they've worn it in playoff appearances. Now it will be a common part of their jersey. You can see the stripe on the side there. Some of you may not think it looks that much different. When you compare it to what they were wearing, it does look way, way different, way better, as we've talked about here on the show. Also, Block O added to the collar. Love the Block O. I like the Ohio State logo. Both of them interchangeable. Look really, really good. I think that's a fun addition for the Buckeyes there. So they are certainly bringing it with these jerseys. They also fixed the nameplate a little bit. It's funny, you don't really notice until people are putting screenshots online and talking online. Their like font on the back of their jerseys were like a little wavy and just so a little weird, little different. This is a block font for them now on the back of the jersey. So Ohio State pleasing the fans once again. Great news for the fans. I know a lot of you wanted the Heritage Stripes, the Buckeye Stripes back. You got them back, both on the red and the white jerseys. And then, of course, we saw the black jerseys that they premiered yesterday. So new old jerseys, however you want to put it, for the Buckeyes as of right now. Do me a favor. Go get your friends' opinions. Maybe they haven't seen the jerseys yet. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you agree. Maybe you've been talking about this. Send that to a friend right now. Share today's video with a friend. What do they think about the new Ohio State jerseys? Share the video and let us know. All right, and then the news of the day yesterday, right? The big news for Ohio State football yesterday. You wanted it, you got it. The Buckeyes and the Longhorns will be a prime time matchup, 7:30 kickoff on ABC. The Buckeyes, Longhorns, some are calling it part 3 from the playoff the year before. I'll call it part 2 for Sayin and Arch Manning going at it. So last year it was week 1. It was big noon kickoff, which, hey, college football is a noon kickoff, has that feel to it. But I know so many of us have been wanting not just a Buckeye night game, because, yes, we've gotten Buckeye night games in the past few years. But I know we wanted a big-time matchup, right? A good matchup for those night games. Tough that it's going to be in Austin, Texas. But, hey, that is what it is with that matchup there. So, yeah, Buckeyes and Longhorns, 7:30. That's week 2, which is nice. The Buckeyes get a warm-up game with Ball State. Then they will travel and take on the Longhorns in week 2. Again, ABC, 7:30 kickoff. Really, really good stuff. I know we're all pumped about the primetime stuff there. I do want to dip into some narratives a little bit with that game. I'm already seeing a lot of you guys hating on Texas. I've seen some comments about Texas blocking this from being a night game when it's in the shoe, and then not blocking it now in when it's in Texas, right? I should remind you, the deal was Texas was blocking Ohio State from moving the game to Sunday night. They did not want it to be a short week. That was kind of like a lower narrative, a smaller narrative, kind of went quickly last season. Double-checked it on CBS Sports today, and this is what it said, is Texas blocked Ohio State from moving the game to Sunday night because of a short week. So don't jump too quickly and say Texas tried to switch this thing up last year and so on and so forth. Just a reminder with that false narrative. The other big narrative in just 1 second. I think we all know what it is. But first, a reminder, today's show is presented by PrizePicks. Right now, when you download PrizePicks, you have America's #1 sports picks app. The app is great because it is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Who doesn't love that? Let's talk lineups for a second. Some of you who haven't used the app before, haven't used similar apps, may say to yourself, the lineup's a little intimidated to put them together. No, it's super easy. You just pick more or less on a few player stats and then lock in your lineup. If you're a baseball fan, hits, home runs, strikeouts. If you're a basketball fan watching the playoffs, points, rebounds, assists. Let me show you real quick a lineup from producer Aiden Parise for some playoff action tonight in basketball. pair some things together. Jalen Duren, points, rebounds, assists, 23.5. We're going to go less on that one. Evan Mobley, more on 3.5 assists. And Donovan Mitchell, more on 8.5 field goals made. So you can get the 2s and 3s for that one there. That's an example of a simple, easy-to-make lineup for basketball fans in general. And right now with the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That includes myself and producer Ian Paris. You follow us on PrizePicks, tail our picks or fade, and get the picks before they even get posted on the show. Our best picks on the show at Billy_Beebe at CSAP. Again, if you'd like that lineup, follow at CSAP right now, copy it, use it. New user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and the description. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, good to be right. Part 2, Arch versus Sayin. This is definitely a big one. These are the 2025 total stats for these two guys. I'll be honest, neither was overly great in that first matchup. It was 14-7 final. Arch was really bad in that one, if you guys recall. You can go back and watch our watch party. We were doing the game live. We'll be doing the game live. So you got that first narrative. You know, I want to mention the one about nighttime and primetime and canceling and all that. Second narrative, definitely these two quarterbacks who hope to be Heisman hopefuls, hope to be playoff quarterbacks. I mean, look, there's an opportunity where Arch and Sayin, like, this is not their first meeting in 2026. There's a shot these two go back at it when we get to the college football playoff. Look, if they don't have the years they want, there's a shot this isn't the last meeting overall between these two guys. Maybe in 2027. I don't know. But this is what they did last year. Arch has some wheels. Definitely something to keep in mind. Accuracy, of course, going to Julian Sayin. Look, I believe in Arch Manning. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's poised for a big year, which makes this a very big game. Who you got in that one? Call your shot way, way, way too early. Ohio State, type your O's. Texas, type your T's. The Buckeyes and Longhorns in primetime, week 2, 2026. Make your prediction right now. That was not the only schedule news leak that we got yesterday. It kind of brought up the conversation around the schedule and things that are going to be happening with Ohio State. Letterman Rose Austin Ward kind of gave some opinion on what he thinks the schedule could look like, and I know a lot of people are wondering about this too. A night game. Where do we think the Buckeyes could see another night game? Austin Ward thinks the Illinois game in Columbus will be a night game for Ohio State. Immediately, my mind races. Is this where they're going to wear the black jerseys? It's kind of perfect. I joked like Michigan State would be the perfect, like, this is good. Illinois at home at night. That would probably be where they wear their black jerseys. I will say, though, that's just 2 weeks after they play Texas at night on the road. I don't want to act like that just can't be done, but seems a little tough to do night games that close together. Maybe just something to consider there with the Illinois game. Again, Austin Ward of Letterman Row predicting that could be a night game. Also, Austin Ward predicting Oregon will be a 3:30 kickoff. And I will say, not the first time I saw that. Austin Ward, not the first person to predict that. 3:30 is a very weird, that's an SEC kickoff time. That's very odd. But hey, once again, another leak in the schedule a little bit. This was the one I wanted at night. I wanted this to be a primetime game. I wanted them to wear the black jerseys in this game. I think it's going to be huge. However, 3:30, I think it'll just kind of set the table. I think a lot of college football fans are locked in at that point in the day. That should do big ratings. I believe that's a CBS game. Again, this is all floated, not confirmed yet. So I wanted that to be the night game. However, it looks like a 3:30 kickoff for Oregon and Ohio State. Let's pivot real quick to recruiting news here on the show. Definitely worth talking about. Anytime a recruit from Glenville is mentioned, commit, non-commit, looked at by coaches, you have to immediately turn your attention, focus up, and listen up. The Glenville pipeline to Ohio State is too good. It's too good to be true as of right now, especially with the recent success Ohio State has had. You're going to go Arvell Reese to Sincere Johnson. I could go through a million names here. Ted Ginn Jr., obviously, his dad, Ted Sr., running the program. So when we saw and heard that James Laurinaitis visited Glenville High School to look at 3-star linebacker Kaylon Bailey, had to be talked about, right? And we're going to get deep into it in just a second. However, we're talking high school football, which I love. I've covered in Ohio for many years. Name the best high school football program in Ohio. Is it Glenville? Is it Massillon? Is it Hoban? Is it a school I'm not even talking about? Name the best high school football program in Ohio. Comment down below. All right, so this is not necessarily the prototypical 5-star super athlete, gigantic size, millions of NIL dollars coming at him. However, once again, guy like Bailey, Glenville, right? Got to pay attention, got to go for it, got to like it for a guy like Kaylon Bailey, and I like it. I think it's a good fit for Ohio State, and I think it's going to be good for the Buckeyes in general to get a look at a player like this. You see the rankings, 3-star, one of the top 30 in Ohio, I think is a really good thing, and linebacker's a pretty competitive position in this 2027 class in general. Jeremy Birmingham giving his thoughts on the fit with Bailey and Ohio State. Saying here, Ohio State is looking for all kinds of athletes in its defense, and a player like Kaylon Bailey may benefit from Matt Patricia's search for versatility. He isn't the biggest guy in the field, but Bailey's productivity and film have made him a valued target for the Buckeyes despite his ranking. Whether he's standing up with his hands in the dirt, he's a playmaker, and that's why James Laurinaitis has been recruiting him as hard as he has been. Should be noted, too, Laurinaitis going after Bailey. I think he is another option, and we talk about, I believe it was Goodsby, we were talking about last week, another name to pair with Quentin Cipher, the 4-star linebacker who's already committed, Prince Godsby, that's it, already committed Quentin Cipher. Now James Laurinaitis searching for that other half, the other guy to go with him here. Could be Bailey, could be somebody else. Glenville's a pretty good place to look.